Hey guys, this is Brent Benning coming at you with the 3-minute Bible study. We're going to go 3 minutes or less, and we're going to be in Romans chapter 1, just 2 verses, 16 and 17. We're going to be very, very ambitious. Quick read. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation, unto every one that believeth, to the Jew first, and also the Greek. For therein is the righteousness of God revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. Okay, let's talk about this. In verse 16, if you read the first half of the book, you can find out Paul was already ready. Rome is a very cosmopolitan city. It is probably the most multicultural city that you would ever find. The phrase, all roads lead to Rome, that was true. Every road that you can get on, it would eventually get you back to Rome. And there were all sorts of different people, different cultures, were all located in Rome. And for some people, that might be intimidating, not for Paul. He says, I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ. And he wasn't. If you read the book of Acts, you see how Paul was not afraid of the gospel, not afraid to preach no matter where he was at. So that's the character of Paul. But he understood why he didn't need to be ashamed. For it is the power of God unto salvation to everyone that believeth. If you believe in Jesus Christ, there's no reason for you to be ashamed either. There's no reason for me to be ashamed of the gospel, because I am one of his, and we should not be afraid to share the gospel with anybody else. Most of us are not going to be like Paul and get up in the middle of the street, middle of the synagogue, and preach a long sermon. It may be sharing the gospel between one-to-one person, which a lot of people can do. If you've got friends, I've got friends. We all have friends that are not saved. We should all have friends that are not saved, because we can impart that gospel into them as the Lord leads. And Paul also kind of gives the whole thesis statement of the whole book in these 2 verses too. Even at the end of this, especially at verse 17 at the end of it, where he says the just shall live by faith. With that faith that we have in Jesus Christ, coming down on the cross, coming down from heaven, dying on the cross, raising from the dead, that whole basic premise there is the gospel in and of itself, and that is where our faith lies. That's it. We don't need to have faith in anything else. Even this was a direct quote from the book of Habakkuk. God, when you have the same verses or the same quotations in both Old and New Testaments, you might want to pay attention, because this is kind of where God really starts to think at. And Habakkuk was kind of telling all these bad things or the evils that were going on in his day. But he comes to verse 4 at Habakkuk 2, where he says, the just shall live by faith. He lets them know, you know what? If you're really just before God, if you're living right before a just God, guess what? You're going to live by faith. That's exactly what you're going to do. And so remember, we need to live by faith in the faith of Jesus Christ and what he's done for us on the cross. Thank you for the 3 minutes.